Guruji continued his studies at Maharaja's College, Vijayanagaram. He joined a BSc course in physics. He was staying in the hostels and he was very active as a student. He used to manage the hostels and then he used to take part in all cultural activities at Andhra University campus, as his own college was affiliated to that university. He has participated in the Andhra Week celebrations in a big way. He was highly appreciated by then Vice Chancellor C.R. Reddy garu. He has acted in a Shakespearean drama and he was good in writing poetry also. His poem by the title Beggar Maid was greatly appreciated by Professor K.R. Srinivasan, head of the Department of English at that time. India got independence on the 15th of August 1947. The students gathered in the hostel premises and Guruji made all arrangements to have the flag hoisted at midnight on par with what has been happening in Delhi. The college principal, Dr. K.R. Subramaniam, was a PhD from Oxford and he was a specialist in historical research. He was a great Gandhian. He was a highly principled person. When Gandhiji was assassinated on 30th January 1948, the news reached him and he felt the heart attack and he was sinking. Guruji took the permission of the doctor and sought an interview with his principal. He requested him to give some message for the students. The principal said, "Eat less, think more, and feel most." Guruji followed his message throughout his life. He used to eat only 7 morsels of food throughout his life, nothing less, nothing more. And then, of course, he was a great thinker. He was greatly concerned about the problems of the country and the world. And he used to feel for the well-being of all who approached him, or even those who were in need but could not approach him. There are several instances where he could feel the hunger of a person some 200 meters away from his house, and he used to eat more so that the satisfaction that he got should be sent to the other person to keep him alive. So several instances were there that he followed his principal's final message throughout his life. After his education, he returned to Kovur. He did not like to pursue his higher education. The family was quite well-to-do. They could have sent him anywhere in India or even abroad, and he could have continued the education. But he did not like to do so. For the reason, the higher is the education, higher will be his job, and greater is the responsibility, and more of time being consumed by the work. He wanted to keep a lot of time to himself and lot of time spent for the welfare of others around him. So he decided not to go ahead with higher education. He returned to Kabul and then was trying to figure out what he should do next. He used to go to Godavari and sit on the sandy bank and think about it. He spent some few months and finally came to a conclusion. He would like to live like a saint or a sage of the olden times. He would be a householder. He would live among the society, among the thousands of people, and he would guide them and help them. And he would take a few picked and chosen people to whom he will impart the knowledge of the Upanishads and sadhana. And then he would develop rapport with the divinity and use that rapport to help to solve the problems of the people individually or collectively, and also follow what is happening in the nation and help the nation also through his tapas. So these values are decided by him, and then he decided also to lead an independent life and not to be associated with the sinking jamindari. That was the end of May 1950. He approached his father and told him about his intention, that he would leave the house and seek an independent job. His father asked, "What could you do?" Then he said, "I can do anything. I can even work as a railway porter, earn 1 rupee, and then spend a part of it for myself, and the rest I will donate. Sleep on the platform. I like to be independent." Then his father did not take very seriously and then told him, "All right, you can go, but never come back regretting your decision. And you can take as much as you want right now. You don't come back later and ask for more money." Guruji said, "I will take only 100 rupees from the Jamindari and leave the place tomorrow." His father was a little shocked, but his mother gave the opinion that her son will not do any mistake and he will come up in life due to hard work. So his father permitted him to go. With 100 rupees in hand, he landed at Hyderabad on the 2nd June 1950. He took accommodation in a hotel and straight went to the police headquarters and sought the job. And they saw him so well dressed up with a BSc degree. And those days BSc degree itself is a good education. And why does he seek a job? And that too, he asked any job, even as low as possible. Then they immediately appointed him. And they said, "You have to go to Warangal, and a special zone is created to tackle the underground terrorists, and you have to go there. That's a risky job." Guruji readily agreed, and he left for Warangal and reached Warangal on the 5th of June 1950. He was to work with one D.W. Court, who was the DIG. A special zone was created with 6 districts of Telangana to tackle the underground terrorists. After the Razakars were defeated by the Indian Army, they left their arms and ammunition, which were picked up by the communists, and they became underground terrorists also. nearly 1,300 dharams were created, and they were attacking the police stations and killing landlords. And that's a part of their policy to create a revolution. So it's a highly risky job that his boss had to take, and probably he got the protection from Guru Garu for his safety. Within about 18 months, all the dharams were eliminated and the peace was restored in Telangana. While court returned to Maharashtra, he requested Guruji also to accompany him, but Guruji refused to accompany him and stayed back at Warangal. Guruji had a lot to do at Warangal. The people were not having any education. They were poverty stricken. And there was no development at all in those areas. And he felt a natural sympathy for them to work with them. And he was given a big house by his boss, and he had a cook, servant, everything. He was leading a very nice life. And Malyala Rajshekar Rao, he was a doctor, superintendent of the Anantapur hospital, offered his daughter to him. And the marriage took place on May 17th, 1951 at Tadepalligudam. Guruji got married to Ganga Devi. A few words about her. When her mother was carrying, they had to cross a small stream. And while they were crossing the stream, got floods. And they thought they will all be washed away. At that time they prayed to Mother Ganga that they will name the child after her if they are saved. It happened. And in the first few days after the birth, a big snake was found near the cot, and they prayed to the Lord that she will be named as Nagaratnam also. Finally, her name got stabilized as Ganga Devi. She was assisting her father in the paramedical services, and she was a good midwife, and she was very straightforward, very outspoken. Soon after the marriage, they were both sitting on the sandbank of Godavari, and she asked Guruji about any instruction to her. Guruji told her, what we earn in a dharmic way is all our wealth. People say cleanliness is next to godliness, but I would say hospitality is godliness itself. Be hospitable to one and all who come to you. That value she followed till her last breath. And of course, 2 children were born to them in the year 1953 and 55. And again, 2 more children were born in the year 61 and 62. She was a good mother and a very strict disciplinarian. Guruji used to be on tours quite often, and she used to manage the household and the children in a very efficient manner.